big question is blogging worth it in 2025? And the reality is that a lot has changed this year with the introduction or the adoption of AI. There's Google AI overviews, Google AI mode, there's AI content. Man, there's a lot of stuff out there. And so it's normal. It's normal people ask themselves, is it worth putting out content on a blog? Well, short answer is yes. And there's a bunch of instances and case studies where people are actively doing it and driving in not just traffic, but sales to their business. And so I want to show you how. We are doing it actively and successfully. And if you're just starting out, I want to go over how you can go from 0 to 10K a month in about 90 days. And so with that being said, let me just jump straight into my computer so I can go over all this step by step. Bit of a warning before that, it's going to be a very boring video, but I mean, to succeed in life and honestly in business, you got to go through the boring stuff. All right, so that intro out of the way, let me just jump straight into my computer so I can go over this step by step. Let's go. Right, we're here. Let's get going. Is blogging worth it in 2025? Now, the biggest thing we need to start with is if anyone can produce content with AI, how do you stand out? Because if I'm using AI, you're using AI, all your competitors are using AI, well, the playing field is leveled. So the question is, how do you stand above them? And we'll cover that, and I'll go over what I'm doing, as I said before. Now, the biggest fear I see, a lot of people tell me this, is Google is dying, SEO is pointless, everyone will use ChatGPT. Let's assume for a second here that Google dies tomorrow. Right? Let's assume nobody uses Google anymore. Let's assume because ChatGPT and all these other LLMs are mega convenient, right? You just have a question and you just hop on ChatGPT and ask it questions. Now, I'll be honest, like my mother, my girlfriend, they've come to a point that they use GPT more than Google. And a bit of a parenthesis here, I think this happened because Google took so long to come up with a product similar to ChatGPT that people eventually got tired and downloaded the app, right? These people in my family use the app, right? So they've went further away from Google. Now they have the app, so they didn't even go to Safari on their phones or Google on their computer. They just go to the app or to the desktop thing. So I think that Google took way too long, and it's going to be harder now to get people back. Still, I think they're going to do it because Google has the distribution, which GPT doesn't have, because Google owns the search engine, right? And Microsoft, which owns 50% of OpenAI, which owns GPT, as Bing, and nobody uses Bing. But that's a conversation for another time. Point being is that let's assume my family, everyone uses ChatGPT only. Well, again, let's assume Google dies tomorrow. Let's assume we only have LLMs. ChatGPT, Perplexity, Grok, Claude, any of them, right? Even if nobody uses Google, right? LLMs take info from somewhere, right? They take info from your site and from social media. They aggregate info, so you still need to produce it. Let me show you a couple of examples. So if I go here into Perplexity, for example, let's use this as an example, right? And I just open up this right here. I give this example all the time, but I think it's pretty cool. Thinkific is a software company, right? They sell software. In essence, you can use their software to host your online course, right? It's pretty straightforward, okay? Software business, okay? Now, they have these pages, right? Thinkific versus Kajabi, competitor, where they just compare, right, all of their features versus the competition. They have a bunch of them. And by the way, if I just change the URL to Thinkific versus Teachable, right, the page is the same, just versus another competitor. So all these pages are the exact same. Programmatic SEO made, and I'll leave a link for a course I made for free here on YouTube on programmatic SEO. You can click, it should be the second link in the description, so click it, it'll be there. Point being is that, yeah, even if this post right here, or let's say this one right here, even if nobody goes on Google and types in Thinkific versus Kajabi or Kajabi alternative, whatever, right? Let's assume that you just use LLMs. So I go here and say, I'm looking to host an online course. What's the best platform? Okay, so we start top of the funnel, okay? Because these LLMs, right, they're conversational, right? You give it a prompt, they give you an answer, right? Answer, prompt, and then you refine it. And then you give it another prompt, so prompt number 2, and they give you answer number 2. Until you go bottom of the funnel, until the answer you want, and you buy this stuff right here. So top of the funnel stuff, right? I'm looking to host. I don't even know what softwares are there. I'm maybe a bit not familiar with this space, so I'm looking for a platform, right? And then, okay, I have all these right here. Okay, Thinkific, Teachable, okay. I think this one looks good and this one as well, okay, because I see the pricing is the pricing I want to pay. I see the features, okay, this is perfect, okay. So then I ask it, right? I'm asking a second prompt. It's going to take me further down the funnel until I have my reply. What's best, Teachable or Kajabi, right? So I'm going down the funnel. And where do you think it's getting all this info from, right? Where do you think, right? For example, This is from Thinkific's blog, by the way. Where do you think it's getting the info from? Let's just wait 10 sources to see. Okay, there you go. Zapier's blog, Kajabi versus Teachable. So the info right here, right? The info these LLMs give you isn't random, right? You got to feed it that info. And this is a pretty in-depth blog, right? Or people think about blog as a classic blog post. It doesn't need to be that, right? This is just a page going over a comparison page between this and this. Comparison with actual use cases, screenshots, very, 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 very in-depth comparison about both, okay? And so, of course, this is going to be cited right here. Some of the sources are going to be this, because this info right here, they don't make up this info. This info is not made up, right? They take it from your website, your socials, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, your website itself, right? These FAQs are taken from sites, from sources. So all LLMs do is aggregate info, right? So you still have to produce it. So point being is that even if Google dies tomorrow, and even if anyone only uses ChatGPT or any other LLM, because we still don't know which LLM is going to win, right? We still need to be producing content. Now, of course, are you going to be producing content about like how tall is the Eiffel Tower? Of course not, because that's answered like in a little AI thing, right? And we'll talk about AI overviews and AI mode, because these are two new things Google rolled out. The AI overviews is older. The AI mode, I'm not sure if you heard about it. Google's AI mode is essentially Google's ChatGPT inside of Google search. Okay, let me just show you real quick here what I mean by this. What's Google AI mode? Again, I think they went a bit late on it, but regardless, they've released it now. So just in the regular search, it's only available in the States for now. Okay, so when you search for something, right, there's all the images that you see here, right? And on the left-hand side right here, there's AI mode, which is basically ChatGPT, a conversational search engine, okay? And again, all the sources, all the citations, all the brand mentions, well, the info is taken from your site, from competitor sites, from social media. So they don't make up info, right? So it's honestly a search engine within a search engine. The thing is that it's a conversational search engine that you ask a prompt, it gives you an answer, ask a prompt, give you an answer, and you funnel it down until you have your ready to go answer, right? And you just buy the product or the service or whatever, excuse me. Okay, so that's a very fair thing. Don't be afraid. You still have to produce content. Now, again, the point still stands. Yeah, sure, but if everyone can produce content, how do I stand out? Well, let's go over this. Actually, before that, I want to give you two more examples. Wise and Epic Gardening. Thinkific, again, is a software company. Wise is an online bank, and this is an e-commerce store. So I'm trying to give you a couple of different examples. So for the Wise, so what Wise does is it produces informational content. Now, of course, you're not going to be producing content about how tall is the Eiffel Tower. Why? Because, Google just gives you this, and nobody wants to read like a blog post about that. Maybe you want to see a video, but not like this is good enough. So what is Wise doing? So Wise is an online bank, and one of their competitors is PayPal. We all know PayPal, okay? So if I open up here real quick, Ahrefs, and I look at the amount of traffic Wise gets, and then I look at the keywords they rank for, you'll see that Wise is producing. So first of all, they get almost 100 million in monthly organic search traffic, which is insane. They're a very, very big company. But if I go here to organic keywords and I sort by the term PayPal, what you'll see is that a lot of the keywords they rank for and a lot of the traffic they get is for keywords PayPal wished they ranked for. Here's what I mean. So, for example, they rank first for a keyword with almost 5K in monthly organic search traffic called PayPal Fees Calculator. This page right here ranks above PayPal's own page. Why? Because this is so good. It's an interactive tool. It's pretty cool. This is such a good piece of content, right? Better than anything else ever PayPal produced with FAQs. This right here might be a bit contradictory. Why would I be producing amazing content about my competition? Well, it's because you can use this as a leverage, right? If the content is so good, you can just say, hey, listen, yeah, PayPal charges this, but we charge less. We charge 5 times less. Use us, right? And it is over and over again for a bunch of keywords. Fees calculator. Let's see what else. How does PayPal work? They rank 6, right? 14,000 keywords, right? This is great. I'm not sure if they rank above PayPal or not, but this is great. Okay, properly in-depth thing, and they're getting a lot of traffic from this, right? So if you can produce informational content better than the competition, right, you're always going to win. And so the goal here is to leverage AI to produce that content and refine it, making it even better than what the competition is doing, okay? Now, we'll go over a couple examples after, but now I want to go over Epic Gardening, which is an e-commerce store. Let me just open it up right here. And so they have this site, right? They have a blog talking about plant type of stuff, right? And they have, of course, a e-commerce store, Shopify store, associated with it, where they sell a bunch of stuff. For example, let's go over these flower or garden beds, okay? These, if you're an e-commerce store, you have to go with the default, like product details, specification, how to use it. You have to have a proper product page, okay, for the user and also for search engines. And here's what they do, right? Designed to help you grow. So they have why it's good, customizable design, built to last, sustainably made, 100% food safe. They have the material breakdown. They have how to use, right? How to set it up. So they have all this stuff, even comparing between other products of theirs, and an FAQ section, okay? How long will it last? Is the food safe in there? The benefits of it being this material. The material breakdown is ultra seal durable, etc. And so what do you think is going to happen when you go on GPT? Let's say Google dies. You go on GPT and ask it, hey, prompt one. I have this. Actually, let me just go over it. Why not? Let's go to Perplexity. Open up a new chat. Let's say I have a wooden garden bed which constantly gets teared down by the rain. I'm looking for a better material one. I don't know, you get the point. So I'm going down the funnel. I'm prompting it to go down the funnel. So material sucks, it's watery. So maybe I should use metal. Okay, metal. Okay, that's good. Okay, what companies out there sell metal gardening beds? So who do you think is going to be mentioned? Well, Epic Gardening. There you go, somewhere around here, hopefully. In this case, not, but you get the point, right? I'm going down the funnel, prompt, answer, until I find what I want. And the people who show up in these multiple answers, right, based on my prompts, are the people who talk about this stuff, okay? Even if you talk about the competitions, usually you'll show up as a reference, okay? And so these are three distinct examples. Hopefully this is making sense so far. Point being is that everyone uses AI, okay? I mean, you can still not use it. You can write content manually. It just takes a lot more time, which is kind of painful, I think, in my opinion. I should just be using AI because it saves you a ton of time. But point being is that this works for these three examples. And what we're doing, by the way, quick caveat, understand that blogging doesn't have to be the classic blog post. Now, in our business, we do the classic, if you go to /blog, the classic blog, right? The classic type of blog, right? Blog type of content. It's pretty straightforward, okay? But we do also the comparison page. If I scroll down here, for example, a competitor versus ours. This is a comparison page, okay? Pretty straightforward. The comparison page with a video, a table going over them. We can call this blog as well. It's content, right? It's written content marketing. But people oftentimes think a blog is just a classic blog, and not necessarily, right? It doesn't have to be like a classic article type of blog. It can be alternative pages, comparison pages, proper informational-based content with even embedded tools in there, just like you saw with Wise. And so that's exactly what I'm doing, right? That's exactly the type of content marketing I'm doing and leveraging AI, not just for the content, but for these little AI tools we embed onto the posts. So let me show you what I mean. These are the three types of pages, right, that I'm creating. Again, you just saw a couple of examples. Comparison pages, alternative pages, and informational-based pages. So we can start from the left-hand side right here. Comparison page is basically comparing you versus a competitor, or a competitor versus a competitor, right? And you optimize for their brand name, their info, and their features. Just like you saw the example with Thinkific, right? They talk about them, they talk about the competitor, why the competitors are good, their features, their benefits, why they're good, their pricing, and talking about the competitors will make you rank for competitor-based keywords. But the thing that's ranking is your own site, your own brand mention, okay? You're repeating the citations there if we're talking about GPT, or the classic Google search, your site will appear, okay? So they're going to your site. It's a way to convert bottom of the funnel users into buying your product, because people searching for alternative to Slack, alternative to Zapier. Well, most likely they've used Zapier, right? They don't like it for some reason, and they're actively looking for an alternative. Whether it's because they're looking for a cheaper version or whatever, it doesn't really matter, okay? But to make sure that these pieces of content are very valuable, you gotta write about the competition, what they are, what they're not, their features, their pricing, what you are, and then the comparison between both. Same thing for alternative pages, right? As I said before, this example, Slack alternative. Slack for niche business. So you can even niche down. Cheaper, so you can use modifiers. Cheaper, faster, alternative to Slack. Slack for XYZ niche. So you create these alternative pages. I'll even show you an example right here. I mean, you can go to our blog and see, right? Let's see. Boom. 10 ChatGPT alternatives for writing. So 10 competitor for niche. Okay, and then you go over what it is, how much you charge, etc. And then the alternatives. Pretty straightforward. Okay. So there you go. Even if again nobody finds this post on Google, well, it might be mentioned on AI engines, because the depth of search in LLMs is so much, I guess, deeper that we're much more likely to show up in these LLMs. And Ahrefs made a study where brand impressions or site impressions are going up because people are searching more. So when you search for stuff on Google, you search it once, right? Because these LLMs are meant to be conversational, you end up searching more and more and more and going deeper and deeper and deeper. And the more prompts, the more answers. The more answers, the more likely it is that your brand is mentioned. So the more brand impressions there are. And Ahrefs made a study on this, which I'll link below if I can find it. And then informational-based content, informational-based pages, just like we saw with Wise. Again, the example of Wise producing info about PayPal and better than PayPal itself. So outranking PayPal for keywords PayPal would want to rank for. It's pretty cool. And then just combining all this stuff with programmatic SEO. Again, I'll leave a link for my course on programmatic SEO. It's free. Combining programmatic SEO with AI-generated dynamic tools. Here's an example. Vid is basically, let's think Photoshop, but for video editing. Okay, so they're a video editing software, okay? I mean, just like CapCut and all these, they allow you to add subtitles to the video, change the background, change the audio, convert the language of the video. I mean, anything you can think of about when you think about editing video, okay? And what you do in this tools page, it is vid.io/tools, is they have all of these pages. And what you'll find are these free tools that all are the same thing. H1, paragraph, CTA, all of them. All of them are the exact same thing. All of them. It's for the exact same. This is programmatic SEO at heart. Literally programmatic SEO definition right here. All of them are the exact same thing. Add photo to video, paragraph, why it's valuable, how to put a picture in the video. So all these are properly optimized for the keyword, how add a photo to video, FAQs, etc. Okay, pre-optimized. And how much traffic do you think all these tool pages get combined every single month? Well, if you guessed anywhere less than 1 million, you were wrong. It's actually 2.3 million every single month for all these tool pages, And all they are is programmatic SEO. These are all the exact same pages, programmatically generated with just a little tool embedded into them. These don't even have a tool embedded into them, right? You just click here and go straight to their app. And like the one you saw right here, right? This Wise one had this like little calculator right here. But you can add the tools or not. And I'll show you an example on how I do it using AI again, because the goal here is to show you how to use AI for this stuff right here. You can use AI to write the content. You can use something like Arvow, which again, full disclosure, it is my tool. So let me show you real quick here how I do this. So going here into arvow.com, just logging into my dashboard. So in terms of content writing, I'll show you here an example. Again, this is just going to be a random example. Let's just do for this car dealership in Texas. Let's just open this right here, for example. This is all done with AI, right? The AI writes the content for you, adds the featured image, adds links to other pages on your site. These are called internal links. Adds links to external sources like Wikipedia, Investopedia, for example. If this were an article about finance, would add external links to external relevant sources. Key takeaways, in-article images that are relevant to what the content is about. It's all done with AI. Even in-article relevant videos, again. AI wrote this article about what's the best auto dealership in Texas, wrote all of it, added images, added links, even went on YouTube and found, okay, what's the most relevant video you can add to this article, and boom, embedded it right here. Now, is this perfect? Of course not, right? But just saves you a ton of time. Having this all written by AI just saves you a ton of time. And if by any instance you don't like some of this right here, what you can do is just go here to the AI assistant and talk with it back and forth, saying, hey, I don't like the intro. Make it more beginner friendly. And don't add complex terms, right? I don't know, right? You can speak back and forth, just like you're speaking with ChatGPT, and it will actively live change things around. So if I go scroll back here to the intro, it's going to change it according to my prompt. So I can change things around if I don't like it. So use the AI to generate the base draft, and then you improve it. Say, hey, add an image here, add a video here, add a link to this, add a table, add anything you want. Literally, the possibilities are endless. So this is still in beta, by the way, but we're working on it. It will change things live. And there you go. For example, right here, boom, you can add all this stuff right here to make it. I've updated the introduction to be more beginner-friendly and avoid complex terms, focusing on welcoming the first-time audio buyers to Texas. Is that a set? You can accept or decline. Let's say reject. Now, if you don't want to speak with the full article, you can just select parts and say add links, right? Add keywords, so you can sprinkle in your keywords. So your dealership name, I don't know, any other keywords you want, just separate it by commas. You can rewrite this, make it simple, make it learn, make a table, make a list, right? You can add any custom prompts you want, or rhyme every word with orange. I don't know. I mean, literally anything you can do. Point being is that you can change things around and customize things as you wish, okay, which is pretty cool. And then you can just straight up post this to your site, publish articles. We're going to be straight posted to your site. We integrate with a bunch of these other little, any CMS you have, like Blogger, Ghost, Shopify, Wix, WordPress, doesn't matter. We integrate with all of them, so you can do that as well. Now, that's the classic blog post template, this right here. By the way, you can also convert YouTube videos into blog posts, which bit of a tangent right here. We had this guy do it, and he got almost 6K in traffic. Just, you can watch the video, just converting a bunch of YouTube videos, right, in English to blog posts in French. So not only did you change the medium of consumption, video to text, but also translate the language and get a bunch of traffic. This French guy, agency owner, you can watch it if you want later online. And Amazon product reviews, AI news articles, which is pretty cool. You can have your site and have the dedicated like news section, which basically produce news articles on autopilot to your site, to make sure that these appear in Google's news, and also increase overall relevancy and domain relevancy of your domain, because you're producing news about your brand. Let's say, for example, you have a store that sells Pokemon cards, right? What if you had a section that talked about anything and everything news related with new Pokemon stuff, right? Well, firstly, your users would like it because visitors to your site who are into Pokemon, so they love to see what's up with the news in this dedicated section you had on your site, and then it will improve the whole overall relevancy of your domain. So that's pretty cool. But then again, you can also create custom templates. Let's say you want to do something like this, the custom template with the age one being always you versus them, and then a table, and then top features, right? And then age one. So you can do all this stuff with custom templates. You go here to blog automation, campaigns and auto blogs. Let's just select one for now. And you can build out your custom template. So I won't go too deep into this because it's quite complex, but basically you can use Markdown to say, for example, okay, let's do Arvow versus competitor, okay? And then you can say, write a paragraph comparing both, right? You give it some enters, then add a table, right? Comparing two, and then, I don't know, you get the point. And anywhere you add these variables, the competitor variables, if you upload an Excel sheet with all your competitors, so competitor A, B, C, and D, right? When these articles are being generated, each one of them will be generated, in a programmatic way, and it will replace the variable competitor with one of your competitors. So you can literally do the same thing they're doing here, right? This page, and then you can go and do another one. All of them follow the same thing. Just the word right here changes, and the here right here changes. So you can programmatically generate a bunch of these pages for all your competitors and following this same template. You can just literally use this template, okay? And the way in which you craft these templates is through Markdown by saying this is going to be the age one, then what talks about, again, you can go watch this right here that goes over exactly how to do this step by step. But that's basically it, okay? And then after that, what you can do is, by the way, you can fully automate this with the little auto blogging feature. You can have an auto blog running on autopilot, meaning you can have it so it generates, it automatically pushes the content out on autopilot. So you can have it generate and publish it out to your blog over and over again on autopilot. There's a bunch of feeds. I mean, I won't dive too deep into this, but you can even like take, let's say a guy is tweeting. You can take his tweets about stock investing or football market transfers, take all of them, and then automatically be creating a bunch of blog posts for it or news posts for it based off of this right here, or a YouTube channel, anything you want. The feeds allow you to do all this stuff. And then you can also syndicate this to social media. So syndicate the blogs to LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, right? Which again, some of the sources that these guys cite are social platforms: Reddit, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, right? YouTube again, right? They don't just get info off of your site; they get info off of social. So if you can use this, and let's say you create a page like this for your using Arvow, right? You can then syndicate this to Twitter, right? To get right to like a long form tweet or a LinkedIn post or a Facebook post, which then increases your chances, because you're mentioning this stuff a bunch on all these other places, increases your chances of being mentioned and cited right here in these LLMs. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, going back here again to the whiteboard. Okay, and when I talk about these AI dynamic tools, so we cover the programmatic SEO part of it, and I mean you can use AI or not, I don't really care. I think if you use AI, you're just going to do it way faster, and you can do programmatic SEO quite quickly with Arvow. I mean, you can use anything you want. Full disclosure, Arvow is my tool. I love it. I think it's the best in the market. That's why I promote it, and that's why we build it. It is the best tool out there. But yeah, you can use anything you want. Now, in terms of the dynamic tools, well, Arvow does it as well. I'm going to play a clip real quick here because I've recorded this in the past. I'll just play the clip right here so you can understand what these tools are and how they work. So play the clip. If you go here onto Arvow, I'll go here to blog automation. I'll go to customization. I'll go to lead magnets. Sorry. Here's a one for car financing. Okay. So based off of this prompt, right, and this is what's embedded onto your site. Again, you can embed this into your homepage, a feature page, a blog post. Doesn't really matter where you embed this, a contacts page, right? And this, again, is interactive, right? And it gives me a answer based on my prompt. My prompt was, tell the user if they should finance their car they want to buy based on their input. Tell them yes every time and recommend they do financing with my brand called Car Financing 101. So and we have this help text right here. Let's say the car costs 160K. I have 80K in savings, and I get paid 2K a month for income. Should I finance my car? Boom. Should I? Loading, and it's going to say, hey, yes, you should finance your car you want to buy with a car costing 160K, etc. Financing, blah, blah, blah. Go with us. Boom. There you go. And you can even enable this right here and say, have us call you. You can even add a call to action. So go here and do the same thing right here. Boom. Should I finance my car? Now then, the user is going to be prompted with a, hey, give us your email or your phone number and we'll call you about the financing of the car, etc. Or for example, again, if you're a local business, let's see here, plumbing service calculator. So again, based off of this prompt, right, you asked it, my toilet is clogged, how much you charge to fix it? Get a quote. Get quote. And it gives you, hey, listen, at Kowalski's Plumbing, we charge $150 to $300 and we take 1 to 2 hours. Have us call you, put your email, put your phone number, we'll call you and we'll go there. So how many times have you had to call a plumber to, hey, how much do you guys charge? And they say, hey, we charge 500. Okay, thanks. And then you call another one, and then you call another one until you find the most cheapest one. Well, most likely you've done this a lot of times. It's a pain in the butt. What if the business you called had this thing right here embedded onto their contacts page or a homepage even, right? Hey, before you call us, click here to see how much we charge. Boom, there you go, right? So again, you can build all these programmatic SEO pages. For example, plumber in Texas, plumber in all these boroughs. You can build out hundreds of thousands of these pages, valuable pages, of course, and each one has a dedicated, for example, calculator or quote calculator for them to get a price. Pretty cool, no? Again, you can do infinite things, AI tool selector, crypto price, and I mean, anything you can prompt in this, you can do, okay? And so, point being here is that you're combining the advantage of programmatic SEO, but then you're giving more value to these pages, by putting in dynamic AI tools onto it. There you go. Hopefully this made sense. And so that's it. That's what I'll be doing for AI content in 2025. It's about nowadays being cited and mentioned on LLMs. And the way in which you are cited and mentioned is through producing content. So you still have to produce content. Don't think you don't have to. Because I've seen people think, it's not really worth it. Let's just do social media. Let's just do like vlogs and YouTube videos. I mean, that works as well, but don't neglect this because people are still going to be searching. And people are still going to be reading stuff. And unless in some years we have like a chip in our brains that when we think about something, it gives us the answer. Until then, well, we're still going to be searching for stuff. So search engines will still exist. Now, granted, they might change how they work. In this case, ChatGPT likes search engines or Google AI mode, where it's more conversational and you go down the funnel, right? You ask it something and you keep on asking it over and over again. Until you have the refined answer for a chair you want to find, for a plumber you want to find. I mean, it doesn't matter. The searches will keep on happening. It's just in a different manner. Regardless, the searches give you answers. And those answers are based off of content that you or someone else generated, regardless if it is AI or not. Okay, so that's it. That's the video. Please like and subscribe. And before I go, I want to go over something which is pretty cool, I think, which is if you want access to the software that I just showed you, okay, for a full year, 12 months access to the software that I just showed you, right? You can go to arvow.com/academy. It's going to be the first link in the description. And on top of that, let me just scroll past all these results right here for people who use the software and apply the stuff that I teach inside of this. You get access to my 7 SEO courses, okay? My exclusive plugin for Rank and Rent. Again, a full year of Arvow, right? The software that I just mentioned, a full year, everything unlocked so you can try it out, included in this. Full 12 months, my SEO community with weekly live SEO calls. You also get a one-on-one consulting call with myself, 45 minutes. We'll hop on a Zoom call or a Google Meets call, just me and you. You'll go over, you tell me, hey, this is my business, this is what I do. How can I make my SEO better? How can I get more search traffic from Google, Bing, or LLMs? And I'll go over how I do it if I was yourself. SEO Q&A sections. Again, all these courses right here. It is the SEO course going over on-page SEO, off-page SEO stuff, link building, technical SEO, all the boring stuff, local SEO, how to use AI for SEO, how to rank, so YouTube videos SEO, how to rank videos on YouTube and Google, so video SEO, which is very important. How to build backlinks. By the way, I charge around $300 each for each one of these backlinks I build. So I'll teach you in this course how I actually build these backlinks, so you can just honestly, if you want to build them and sell them for other people, you can. My Rank and Rate SEO course, a bunch of detailed step-by-step case studies so you can find some gold nuggets here and apply them to your business. My e-commerce SEO course and a bunch more stuff. And again, of course, a full year access to Arvow with a 100% money-back guarantee. Okay. I'll leave the link for this in the description. Is going to be arvow.com/academy. take me up with the offer. I think it's pretty cool. Again, it's way cheaper to go through this than to go through a regular price, regular buying the software. With this, you get the community call, the one-on-one call with me, full year access to it, a bunch of all my courses, in-depth stuff, and access to myself in a chat. So it's pretty cool, I think. So yeah, arvow.com/academy. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, and visit the link. Cheers.